Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 383. It is the fourth day of the week, aka the Buster Cannon workout. I am feeling very good right now, headed to the gym. But anyways, to the main subject matter for today. Me and my big ass head. So the main reason why I wanted to talk about this was because of yesterday's video right here, where I had basically a gash on my head after my bench failed. Made me think of previous times in my life where I've gotten hit in the head, and how yesterday's injury, although it looked bad, wasn't as bad as it could have been, because I've gotten multiple head injuries before. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about all of them, and in a sense just kind of look back and think, wow, I've probably gotten concussed once or twice before. So that's a very interesting thing to have happened, but you never really realize it until later in life, when you're like, oh yeah, that wasn't really normal, and you're also not one to really go to the doctor for anything. So it is something that is interesting, but we'll look at a few stories. I think I'll probably come up with a few more as time progresses, because as I said, maybe my head's a little fuzzy up until I remember something like, oh yeah, it like knocked it back into me, but who knows. But anyways, hopefully there isn't another story that I'm putting in the voiceover that just happened somewhere in between this episode being filmed and the episode being edited, hopefully. We'll see about that. But with that being said, I will see you on the inside. Alright, so started this day off with leg curls, which are pretty good. But anyways, back to the main subject matter for today. Me and my big ass head. So the main reason why I wanted to discuss this is because I've had multiple stories in my past where I hit my fucking head a lot. I don't know how, and I don't even know why. It always is my head. So the two major ones that I remember, and there's one extra one that happened not that long ago. Actually, I'll talk about that one not that long ago. Thankfully, none have happened in between the filming of this video and the recording of this, the releasing of this video. Thank God, knock on wood. But that hit that I got in the last video was a pretty big one, in the certain sense that it sucked for like a week. It was very sensitive, but it went away after a week. It wasn't too bad after that. It was just kind of sensitive. It didn't hurt my head, nor did I get any real concussion-like symptoms, which I will get to in a moment. It also just hurt a little bit. It wasn't too bad. Of the first of the small ones, I've also recently, not that long ago, hit my head against one of the hooks that I installed in my all-in-one rack, where it just kind of hit. I knocked the shit out of my head, which wasn't too bad. No blood was there or anything like that, but it wasn't the craziest. It just hurt and it sucked. But that was one that I remember. But the two big ones I remember was, back in high school, me and my two friends were playing hooky. My one friend who's listening, shout out Walter, should remember this. I think he was with us. We were walking in an area of like the nicer part of town, and I don't know what happened or how it happened, but I somehow managed to get under a sign, like a crosswalking sign, and I somehow, when I got underneath it, I lifted my foot up, so I pushed up, and then I pushed myself into the sign. So in essence, giving myself concussion basically on this fucking sign. So it just like a giant ding right into my head. I remember being loopy afterwards and not remembering much afterwards. My friends told me that I was acting very strange in the car on the car ride home, which was a very interesting thing, because I barely remember the car ride home, and I remember they were laughing because I was like loopy or some shit like that, and I felt it. I was just like, oh my god. That was one time. Another time was I had helped a friend of mine sneak out of his house, who we were gonna go see the movie Thor 1 in particular, to be exact. And when we went there, I had to help him sneak out of his place, so I had to reach over and give him a swing on a tree that's next to his room, so then that way he can like swing over. Well, when that happened, he ended up accidentally kicking me in the head when that happened, and I didn't fall or anything, but he kicked me hard enough that I remember when I got into the van, and that was the last thing I remember. I barely remember the movie Thor at all. The only thing I remember is the very end with like the big giant robot guy walking around, and I remember remember the screen was too bright and the thing was too loud. And I remember being like, oh, this fucking sucks. I don't like this. And I'm like here trying not to pass out in the movie theater. So I'm 99% sure that one was a real concussion. And I'm like, wow, I've hit my head multiple times in my life and like probably have gotten a concussion and not even realize it. Kind of fucking crazy how that can happen. You don't even realize it. Maybe there's a correlation between the two. Maybe I'm not remembering because I got a concussion, you know what I mean? But who knows? I'm not sitting through those fucking commercials again. And we're back! Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed done. Exercises skipped also done. Got everything in. Thankfully, the leg extensions was a bitch to get to, but finally got it. But anyways, to the main subject matter for today. Me and my big ass head. So the main reason why I wanted to discuss this is because my head still kind of hurts from yesterday's little impact that happened. Unfortunately, I still have a mark and stuff and everything, and it's a little swollen, but it's not that bad. Not like it was yesterday. Yesterday it was like a bump, but today it's much better. And I don't think I'm feeling any of the any concussion syndromes or anything like that. So I'm pretty good on that front. I have to say that I've had enough incidents with my head that I think I would know if I'm suffering from something like that. So yeah, that is something, but also I'm not necessarily proud of it. It's just things that happened in my life basically. But a nice little romp down memory lane and things that have happened to me and my fucking noggin over the years, which is kind of crazy to even think about really, because I've hit my head a lot on stuff randomly. I think a lot of people have. I don't think I'm just necessarily that uncommon of a thing to happen, but I remember them being very vivid. So I think it's like my brain remembered the moments right before, and then right after it gets very hazy and very foggy. But that kind of comes with the territory, with it being the noggin and everything. But hopefully nothing like that happens again. I hopefully will have had invested in a bench that would be coming sooner rather than later, and also making sure that it's good and sturdy, but from a well-reputable source or something that is good. But that was for the previous episode. But for this one, I'll say this. Here's to hoping I don't do another big noggin hit or something like that, because at this age it's starting to get tough. You know, each little like hard hit is a tough one to recover from. I did a deadlift the other day, like 3 months ago or so, or something like that, and I didn't have my shin guards on. I still have the scar from that one deadlift I did. It wasn't even like I was just trying to deadlift the bar up to get on the rack. So yeah, even the skin is taking forever to heal, even if it's something light that scrapes. So that's just the nature of getting older. But with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about this one. If you have any stories of you hitting your noggin on something, please let me know in the comment section down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Keep it heavy. Stay safe out there. Stay cool. Actually, stay warm now. It's starting to get cool. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!